Attention 5-9 gamers, we are back with another installment of your favorite Dokkan Battle podcast called the Dokkan Battle Podcast. I am your host, Toon Rami, and first off, I would like to wish all of you guys a happy new year 2021. Joining me today is the international family guy himself, Talon.
Ohayou gozaimasu, minasan.
Part-time stand user and full-time Super Battle Road King, the Masked Ningen.
Yo, how's it going, everybody?
The homie who needs no introduction, Goresh.
What's up, everybody?
Stellt euch dem schnellsten und mächtigsten Speedrunner, Sunblade.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Hold on. Something is off. Oh, that's right. I am your host, Sunblade, and joining me today is the man, the voice, the enigma, Toon Rami.
Hello. Thanks for having me. What up, buddy?
Hi.
Good work. Good work. We got him.
All right. And last but not least, we have a new face on today's podcast. Say hello to Alec Hunter.
Hey, guys.
Oh, man, you didn't do the... Come on.
No, that's yours. That's yours.
Fine. The kingpin from Hell's Kitchen, Alec Hunter.
I will break you.
There you go.
That's totally on you then. I feel good about this.
You should use that picture as your bio, by the way. Please do that.
Toon's obsessed with this 5-year-old picture of me completely shaved and with a shaved head.
He's got the death stare of all death stares, and he looks like Wilson Fisk. Sorry, anyway,
all right.
I just ruined this intro. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. It's fine. It's fine. So, before we kick things off with episode 15 called Happy New Shaft, make sure to follow us on Twitter, Twitch, and so on. We have a link tree that provides all of the important links for 5-9, so make sure to make use of that. All right, let's begin. The New Year's Step Up banner is live. So first off, guys, did you summon? I read that Ningen did it. So why don't you tell us what you experienced, Ningen?
I wasn't going to summon on it. Obviously, we didn't know how exactly it was going to change. We kind of hoped it would be updated because the last time it came around, it was very pointless for me to summon on it. And this time around, there was a couple of units that I could have used, but steps like 1 to 3 were still pretty much going to be useless for me. But obviously, in the wake of the controversy that we're obviously going to get to talking about, I thought I might as well do one rotation just in case there is any sort of compensation on the horizon, and it was definitely not a good idea. I pulled a couple of bonus SSRs in a couple of the steps, but like every single SSR I pulled, including the guaranteed LR on the last step, I couldn't use. So
did you pull LRUI Goku outside of step 5?
Oh yeah. So actually, no, Goresh, you'll know since you were there the last time. Guess who my guaranteed LR was? If you think back to our Gohan summons.
Oh boy. Was it Mighty Mask?
No, it was Bardock.
Oh,
I pulled between us in our collab. We pulled like 4 LR Bardocks between us,
and I pulled Bardock too.
Yeah, I pulled 3, and I only needed 2, and so yeah, my LR on step 5 was another Bardock. So obviously, it's I knew I shouldn't really have summoned on it, but it's kind of like we've been saying leading up to this banner coming out. I'm one of those people that this banner was just not really worth summoning on for me. So
yeah, I knew full well going in that I was going to get basically nothing really out of this because this year, or 2020, I was a wee bit of a whale on certain celebrations. So that has impacted basically the rest of the year in terms of my summons and, of course, the step-ups. I basically got nothing that I needed except for, I think, 1 cooler, an Int Gohan, and then I ended up getting KFC twice on the LRs, which was good, but then I also got Bardock. I was really hoping a rainbow UI, because when I saw UI in the image, like when you go through each step, it changes who's actually on the cover, right? So when I saw that they had UI and KFC on it, I was like, ooh, maybe I can finally rainbow this guy, and it didn't happen. Little did I know what was going on behind the scenes.
UI Goku, huh? Oh, yeah.
Right. So
that must be nice.
My experience with the global banner was completely different. My account is, as of like the 4 years when I started this account, and I got nothing but good units. In fact, the only thing that I got that I couldn't use was I got some DFEs I couldn't use. But I got 4 LRs off of the 3 rotations, and I could use all 4 of them. They were all brand new.
Which LR did you get outside of the LR summon?
Tech Broly.
Oh, nice.
Wow, that's a really good one.
So
That's a good one.
I ended up with physical Bardock I pulled on the stream that I was on with you guys the other night. And then afterwards, I did a stream where I pulled the Tech Broly, LR, Full Power Frieza, and then GT Trio, which was my big W because I've wanted that unit forever.
Interesting.
So how about Talon, the only JP player here besides me? Do you summon?
Nope, did not touch it.
Yeah, saving the stones, right?
Most of those categories I have, at least 2 dupes into them, if not rainbowed. LRs, as you guys know me, I'm not somebody who really cares about them that much. I mean, like, I don't have LR UI Goku, I don't have LR Kale and Khalifa. There's a lot of those LRs I don't have. I simply just don't care because the pool is so huge on those LRs that, I mean, last year I pulled physical Bardock when I went in on it, and I was just like,
Why is everybody pulling Bardock?
I don't know.
I don't need to see physical Bardock or STR Beerus or physical Trunks or something like that again. I'm like, nah, I'll just save my stones for the 6th year that's coming up. So
yeah, that makes sense.
And again, I've always said this banner is, I think, very good value if you're somebody who's like new or still has a pretty fresh account that doesn't have a lot of these cards. But if you're someone who's been playing for as long as I have, it's honestly not worth the value.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, right. I did one rotation and got the LR. I didn't have LR physical cell, so pretty happy about that.
Oh.
Yep, pretty big W. So
you
I
could use
can
it in
play.
the World Tournament on Global.
I hate it. No, I don't want to play it.
What do you mean? It's great.
No.
It's so
No,
good.
I'm playing it right now, and I don't want to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny that Toon is the only person in the world that actually enjoys World Tournament.
Wait, what? Sure. Okay. We'll go with that. Yeah.
You told me.
No, it didn't. They'll believe you. Don't say that.
Yeah, now I believe it.
Oh my god.
All right. So yeah, we teased it a little bit in the title, and Goresh and Ningen talked briefly about it. Yeah, the title of this episode here again is Happy New Shaft, and yeah, Global has some issues right now. Apparently, UI Goku, the STR one, the Global First unit that came out this year, is not available until the last step on the last slot, right?
Yeah.
And-
The funny thing is, not only is he not available until that last step, he's only available in the last slot of the last step. It's like
Yeah,
They
right.
went out of their way to either screw us over or it's
Didn't
just
even think about
unintentional.
that.
Yeah,
And,
it's crazy.
It's not the case for JP, and you have to remember, UI Goku is a Global First unit, and yeah, as of right now, we don't know if this is intentional or not. But yeah, what are your guys' opinion about this?
So
Goresh?
there's two like, I guess, scenarios, right? Either it's a unintentional glitch or a bug, or they intentionally did. I really can't imagine this was intentional. Otherwise, that's like, what the hell? Yeah, I mean, because the argument that you could make is, number one, he was a global first. So obviously, if JP has him on their banner like a regular unit, that we should have it as well. And then number two is we have a technically newer LR on global that's available on every step, Vegeta and Nappa. So like, why is UI treated differently when he's technically older than Vegeta and Nappa is? So I don't have an answer.
I don't want to make too big a deal out of this, but I also feel like this is worth mentioning. The whole fact that, I mean, as you can see the image on the screen, having him front and center during the campaign, like it kind of sends a misleading message, because like when you're summoning, you're not, it's not explicitly saying he's there or not there, but you get the feeling that he's going to be a part of it. And there's the prospect of getting him. And as we all know, UI Goku is one of the most marketable names right now in Dragon Ball. So the fact that he is there on like the marketing materials, and then you don't even have a chance to summon for him until the last spot of the last summon, seems kind of like false advertising. I don't want to, fully say that it is, but it is very misleading, and I feel like that's a bigger problem here.
So the problem is, so I promised a spicy take on Twitter for this when I retweeted the podcast link. So,
Oh boy.
so the thing is, it sucks that this is how it turned out, and it would be good if it was a glitch and they plan to fix it. If they did it on purpose, then it kind of sucks, but I mean, even though it's a stupid decision in our opinion, it's a decision that they're perfectly allowed to make. The one thing that I've noticed quite a lot of is people are going proper like off on it being quote unquote false advertising, and it's not. The image that's up on the screen
you.
is not the image of the banner. Nowhere on the banner does it say that he's available in all of the other steps. So just because people might assume that he's in the banner because that's the way other normal banners work, that's not how false advertising works. If you click on the scouter info and look at the information for all the steps, he's not in there. So if you summoned on the banner wanting to get him because you thought he was in it, it sucks because, you know, like you said, some of the marketing can seem misleading, but like that's not what false advertising is. And I've seen a lot of people saying like, "Oh, this is false advertising. We need huge compensation for this." And but it just isn't. It just kind of sucks.
Not to mention that the whole false, because I think a lot of people are trying to. I'm just purely looking at the false advertising that's been thrown around and everything. That the false advertising that everyone's trying to refer to is probably something to the same level of, you know, the Super Saiyan 3 Broly and everything way back on the Rose banner and everything, and past banners where it's been false advertising based on Japanese laws, and then they compensate you for all your stones that you summoned that you used on that banner, right? The advertising laws or things like that are different in other countries compared to Japan. So it's hard to say what they're going to do exactly in terms of, you know, first we have to see a response and see if they even, you know, say, you know, was it intentional or was it just, you know, a glitch or something like that? But don't expect it to have the same results that let's say it was, you know, a mistake or something like that. Don't expect it to have the same results that JP saw, simply because those laws are not in place in other countries. So technically, they don't have to enforce anything. You know, they're not like, oh crap, we're gonna get sued by the country or something like that, or we're breaking a law. It's just like, oh, sorry guys, here's 5 stones or something. They literally could do that. They could.
Yeah, for example,
I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's the screw Dokkan or screw Global or anything like that. It's just they could just look at that and be like, all right, you know, made a mistake. Here, guys, it's changed. If you happen to summon in now, boom. But other than that, that's it. That's literally how it could be.
Yeah, because the thing is, it would be stupid for them to do that. But say, like, the next legendary summon banner that comes out, let's say on Global it's the Jiren banner. So we always assume that every single other LR is going to be in the unfeatured pool of that banner. But how many times do people actually click on, like, the scouter icon in the top corner, scroll all the way down for the list, and, like, look for the particular one that you want? Because potentially they could just take one out, and that doesn't make it false advertising.
I think since the Tech Broly thing, people have been doing that like every banner.
Well, I stand. It's not the first time, that's the thing. The problem is we all assume that it's going to be that way because it normally is, and I think a lot of people are mad because they assumed that he would be. Because I mean, I would have assumed that he would be. But my only point is,
let me ask this. What's the point of them doing this if it's intentional?
Oh yeah, no, I have no idea. But I'm not saying it's a good thing. That's the other thing. People in the comments, I'm not saying that it's a good idea at all. But I'm just saying, in terms of like legality and people who are getting real mad about it, it's not false advertising. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not saying this 100% is. It's kind of a gray area, like I said, but it is misleading, which is the basis for people saying false advertising. They may go too far with it, but there's still this blurry line that people are kind of on either side of. Where, like, because also if you think about the summon itself, when you get to the step 5, you see UI front and center on the featured or on the cover, the summoning screen, right? So there's no reason not to think, like we mentioned before, that UI is not, you know, possibly attainable in every single other step. But the fact that he's shown there, it kind of reinforces the fact that UI is a part of this whole step up celebration. So the fact that we are not aware that he's present in a very limited capacity goes back to the whole misleading aspect. Whether or not it's false advertising might be a bit of a jump, but that's why I said it's not fully, it's misleading, and it's kind of along those lines.
Yeah, so people are spamming it in the chat because they want us to see it. So there's a bit on the banner that apparently says, please note that being different from Step up summon. The 10th character of the multi-summon performed in the festival can be any SSR character available in this summon event. You do realize that just because it says that, if UI Goku is only available on the 10th step, then he isn't an SSR that's available in this summon event, like the way it's technically worded. So everybody who's spamming that thinks it's like proving me wrong, you're not right. Like the way it's written technically, legally, they can get around it. And that's all my argument is, that legally it's not false advertising. It still sucks, but it's just not false advertising.
Yeah, so like the image on screen right now is the advertisement of the celebration. It's not the advertisement or the image attached to the banner. That unit's not listed or shown on the image of the banner, so technically by United States law, there's no false advertising.
He is on step 5.
No, I'm saying the image promoting the banner, the New Year Dokkan Festival image. Okay. He's not on that. He's not displayed anywhere where attached to that particular banner. He's attached to the celebration, and technically, at some point, for some people, he is available. So that image right there specifically is not false advertising.
Yeah. All right. So, you guys, what is your wish for what do you want to see from Akatsuki here? Do you want to see a 300 stone compensation?
Don't say that.
Damn, why'd you say that?
Why'd you invite me to this?
Yes, just tell me.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me go.
You do it.
All I want to see is them admitting that they either made a mistake,
Right.
it was unintentional, or that they. Well, okay, so if it was intentional, they're probably not going to say, "Oh, sorry, we screwed you guys." Like they're not going to say that, right? No matter what. So,
well,
I think
isn't that what they said for Broly though? They just said, "Oh yeah, it was intentional."
Well,
they're required by law here to do that. They have to do that. Not to mention the gacha market is way more competitive here in Japan than it is in around the world.
Yeah, but the point is, they could just say it was intentional when it really wasn't.
Yeah, I think Ningen's referring to last year's LR Broly shenanigans on Global.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant.
Like, there's no way that was intentional. They just forgot, and then they just said, "Oh yeah, it was intentional." And like, because we'll never be able to tell if it was actually intentional or not. They just say it was. So, I mean, I just want to see them acknowledge it. It's in some way, and until they do, I'm just gonna keep spamming them. I don't care.
So now this image here still doesn't constitute false advertising. Because he's on there, but technically in that 10th spot of the 3rd rotation, you have the chance to pull that unit.
Yeah, it's definitely if it is deliberate, then it's definitely shady. It's definitely misleading. Like I'm not in any way saying that it was a good idea, but
right. No, I agree with you guys. It's sus as all get out. But
nice job.
Thank you.
But I like the fact that there's people in the chat are literally saying bootlickers just because you don't like being told how it is. Sorry about it.
I'm sorry your view of reality conflicts with what is actually reality.
There's some spicy real talk here this time. I'm surprised.
I told you, man. Wilson Fisk, he's ruthless.
Exactly. I mean, I prefaced it by saying I'm not happy about it and it is not a good thing, but it's just not false advertising.
I love reading this chat. People think I'm defending
I feel like
it.
if anything, when it comes to compensation, I really want to just steal Garesh's answer, but that's honestly, I would just like that. It would mean a lot if they could just own up for once and admit that they screwed up. It's not that bad. It's not like we're gonna stop playing your game if you are invalidated by saying you're wrong or like you messed up. If anything, I think it helps.
They're not gonna ever say we're wrong. I'm telling you right now, they're never gonna say that.
Well, they're not gonna say it verbatim. We're wrong, but like if they can just own up to it, I feel like people would appreciate that more. It's not like we're gonna stop playing your game. We've been playing it for so long. We're already in the rabbit hole. We're not gonna stop. Also, I forgot my other point.
I mean, this has to be probably the biggest shaft of 2021 so far.
Day one. No. Didn't it technically start in 2020? Didn't the bear come out in 2020 stuff?
For me, it came out at midnight. So
it came out.
Is it a 2020 shaft still, or is it a 2021 shaft? What is it?
It's a December 32nd shaft.
December 32nd shaft. There we go.
2020 definitive edition.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember my point. Okay, so because this is a step up, there's X amount of stones that you could spend to complete the step up portion of the summons. So I feel like if anything, people always, like Sunblade brought up the whole 300 thing. at most they would maybe go to that limit, like the amount that people would, I'm not, this is pure speculation. This is completely baseless. There's nothing that I'm, I have no reference or anything like that. But like, I feel like if any sort of compensation were to be given for Dragonstones, this sort of a situation would be it, because here you could always argue, we will compensate you for the amount that you summoned for the step up. There's kind of there's a black and white right there. As far as like how much they would give back. If it was something where it's just a legendary banner, one person went 5,000 stones, one person went 50 stones, there's going to be some injustice there. But
keep in mind that when you finish the steps, you still can't get UI Goku like on the normal banner, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, like, obviously, if they were to give back
it turns into a normal banner.
Every single stone for every single person who went further beyond after the step ups, that's probably asking for a lot. I think they would still go with the step up limit.
Yeah, the only problem I see with like people asking for full refunds is the fact that the banner has been up for like almost 2 full days at this point. I honestly, it's probably more than 2 full days at this point. And
It's like
whenever
3, isn't it? It's like 3 days.
No, it's 2 days.
Almost 4. Oh, okay.
And whenever they've had instances where they've refunded stones or given like massive compensation for some issue on a banner, they've always taken the banner down like very quickly, like within a few hours of being live. So I mean, it could be a scenario where since it's literally like their New Year's vacation, there's nobody there to actually. Well, there has to be somebody running it, but there's nobody there to like make an administrative decision to actually call that right now.
Yeah.
So it's possible, but I'm just saying because it's been up for so long at this point, I don't really see that happening.
I've also heard people say that it's because the World Tournament is active. No, they don't care about the World Tournament. If this was the thing, they would shut the game down, World Tournament regardless, and then maybe they would tack a little bit of extra time onto the World Tournament.
Do they literally put the World Tournament up there so that they don't have to do anything? That's the purpose of the World Tournament. It's literally so that they don't have to do anything.
It now makes so much sense why it was a freaking January 1st World Tournament on global.
Dude, I want to cuss so bad at them just for that. That is the biggest slap in the face for me. New Year's, really? You couldn't think of any other time to do it? New Year's? Okay.
Like the next week, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that's the reason they haven't revamped the World Tournament, because they use it as a way for them to take off.
Someone in the chat said remove the World Tournament as compensation.
Oh my god!
I accept.
Just give us all top like 500 rewards and just take it away.
Honestly, at this point I'm past the revamp. I want them to just delete it.
Yeah, I'm sort of in the same.
We
boat,
were wrong.
Actually,
we're gonna delete it.
I mean, yeah, give us some other way to get that decent amount of rewards. But yeah, the event itself just is horrible.
All right. So anything to add here regarding the global shaft? Anything else?
Just wait.
You know what else really grinds my gears?
I will say one thing, because I know Truth made a video on it. I don't know where he is right now. He's probably sleeping. But he included a link in his video about if you want to submit your response on either Apple or on Google and everything. But if you're somebody who does that, that's totally fine. I think it's totally valid. Do not be a little kid and try cussing them out and everything, because that's just going to be like, they're going to look at that and be like, whatever, F you guys, we don't do anything now.
That is not the definition of constructive feedback.
Yes, constructive feedback, guys. Ask them the legitimate questions when it comes to that. Because if you just cuss them out, guess what? They ignore it.
I mean, if you guys want a template, you can literally just go to my Twitter and copy and paste the message I've been spamming at them on their Twitter.
Right. Yes. Use Garesh's template. Just copy and paste that. That's all you have to do. Okay. Don't let impulses take over and, cuss them out and call them names and all that stuff, because guess what? That doesn't help the situation. Okay?
They're humans too. And let me tell you, if I was if I was one of them and I'm on the receiving end of all that stuff, I would do whatever I could to make your lives even more miserable. Just letting you know.
It's true. It is true.
They're extending the World Tournament by a few days.
Yeah. If I was one of them and I was sadistic enough, I would make the World Tournament a week. I would make the rewards even more compelling, so that it would force you to give up a whole week of your lives. I would do whatever it takes. So,
fun fact: World Tournament used to be a week.
I was gonna say, remember the 5
I know. I wasn't around for that.
Oh Lord, those were terrible.
For one SSR ticket.
Yeah.
Tune, if you did that, I would publicly make available how to hack the game and destroy it.
Good, bring it.
But it's like there's people in the chat being like, "Oh, I'll speak however I want because this is outrageous what they did." It's like, clearly you people have never worked in retail. Like, if you're somebody who just goes off at somebody at their work, like, first of all, they're not going to give you what they want, and then after you leave, they joke about what an awful person you are with their friends after you leave.
I remember being a teenager and everything, working
yeah.
at the pizza shop in my local town, and every time someone did that, they would leave and be like, "Oh yeah, we'll take into consideration." The moment they leave, we all just laugh and everything.
Yep.
God, never mess with people and food. Come on.
I used to work at the
Yeah,
UK
that is rule
version
number one.
I used to work at the UK version of GameStop, and that is literally like, as soon as you leave, like that's pretty much what we joke about for the rest of the day. So you might be mad about it, but Talon is exactly right. If you want to give your feedback, you have to do it in a constructive fashion, or they're just not ever going to pay attention to it.
Talk to them.
Black Goresh.
Yes.
Now I do want to concede that even though I take the stance that this is not false advertisement, I am not taking the stance that this is not a global shaft. This is some BS right here.
You and I both hate saying that too. That means a lot coming from you.
I hate that phrase so much.
I know.
It's absolutely applicable here, though.
Oof, I know.
Yeah, biggest shaft of 2021, guys.
Exactly. Okay, so yeah, let's move on to the bright side of things here, JP. We have or had the Dual Dokkan Fest for Janemba and PyCon. So yeah, Talon, what are your final thoughts on Janemba and PyCon since you played JP?
Well, first off, let me just say that if you ever summon with anyone ever in the future, do not summon with Gale. If you summon with Gale, your luck is gone. And it just happens. All right. Yeah. So remember, guys, rule number 1, don't summon with Gale. Rule number 2, don't summon with Gale. You're all good to go.
Your luck won't be content. Come on.
No, fake Gale. Get out of here. Okay. All right. Shaft aside, thanks to Gale. Honestly, the banners are actually better than I thought. I honestly expected a 10 featured banner, but we only got 8. So you know what? It actually wasn't too terrible. I would say Janemba's banner is probably better than PyCon.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. So that's that. Janemba and PyCon themselves. Oh boy. God, I feel like Team A jumped in and mixed with Janemba's passive a little bit, because if there are just a couple of tweaks to Janemba's passive, he would outshine PyCon no matter what, essentially. Say what you want, getting 4 type orbs and 2 rainbow orbs can actually be a task sometimes. And I personally think that both for PyCon and for Janemba on this part, I think that the support part of the passive either should have been included right from the get-go, the moment the passive starts and the turn starts, or just simply collect 1 orb in terms of that. I think that's how it should have been done. If you wanted to keep the rainbow part of their passives, then I would have said 1 rainbow orb, but I think 2 and 4 on Janemba, and I think it's 3 and 2 on PyCon, or is it 3 and 1 on PyCon?
I think it's 3 and 1, yeah.
Yeah, it's 3 and 1 on PyCon, which I think is honestly fine. But I think Janemba got the shaft on that personally. And I hate seeing it because I actually love Janemba just simply as from a character standpoint. I know he's not the in-depth character and all that stuff, but you know what? In terms of design, he's badass. So PyCon's very good. He is definitely, I mean, in the end, both of them can hit pretty decent attack stats and everything. I'm not saying that they're terrible. I'm not saying that they're, garbage and anything like that, but they're average cards, I would say. They're not the best, they're not terrible. If you grab them, especially if you like them, right? Like for me personally, I will pick up Tech Janemba when he comes back on Golden Week. If I don't get him in the summons, then I will use red coins to grab my first copy of him. I will. That's just my personal thought, and that's my personal like of a character. But am I saying that he's the best and that you absolutely need to spend your red coins on him? No, I'm not going to say that. So it's interesting, and I kind of hate that Janemba loses guard when he transforms. That is the stupidest decision I think I've ever seen. Granted, he doesn't actually take that much damage when he transforms. You get a super attack off, you have him linked up with the Inch Janemba, he does just fine. He literally does. Plus he's got the whole dodge chance and everything. But it is so stupid that they got rid of guard on him when he goes super Janemba. Just saying. So that's all I'm gonna say. So
Okay. So yeah, as for me, I summoned on the same session and I got destroyed as well. But somehow I was
summon with Gale. It's the
Yep.
dude. It's the ultimate reasoning. It is. It finally makes sense, right? He's always been there in the background in some way or form. I bet if you went back like 3 years on any shaft, you'd be like, "Holy shit, he was in the comments on my YouTube video. He shafted me." Just saying. So
yeah. So how do you enjoy your Goku Blacks? Tell me.
I was about to say.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Wait, hold on. Do you have that image I made, Hydros? Do you have
Oh
that
my
one?
god! It's on. It's on my Twitter. You want to
I need
Hydros?
to get it. I need to find it. I wanna
Get
send
it, get it, and send it to Hydros. Just
Yeah.
oh my god.
Okay, so in the meantime, yeah, I somehow got Janemba yesterday with some stones I farmed, and yeah, I have to agree with Talon. I would say Pycon is far better than Janemba, but yeah, I don't want to repeat everything Talon said here. Like Janemba struggles. Like either I have to get 4 type key spheres or 2 rainbow key spheres, and it's not gonna happen for me. Maybe I'm just unlucky. But on an extreme tech, like this team already has no cohesion at all, and now you have to get those type key spheres or rainbow key spheres, and it's annoying. Well, I admit he's a big help, but it's a late 2020 unit, and he should have been far stronger. And when he's transformed, he gets key +3. That doesn't make any sense because he has so many good links already when he's transformed, and he has no key link at all when he's not transformed. So why are you doing this?
Yeah, and then the whole transformation mechanic for him, get hit 5 times. Oh yeah, there's the photo I'm seeing up on Twitch right now. That was awesome by Toon. I had to retweet it the moment I saw it. Yeah, the whole like get hit 5 times, like that's actually a little harder than some might think. You could easily get lucky on Super Battle Road, which I've been showing in my videos, where everyone attacks in one slot, you let them get hit, and then by turn 3 you can transform. Woo, that's not hard at all. But there are times where that's not going to happen and everything. So I will say though, he'll help most people beat Extreme Tech Super Battle Road. You'll be able to do it, no problem. You'll do it. But yeah, I think he unfortunately got the shaft compared to Pycon. Team A stepped in and shafted him hard. So
yeah, as for Pycon, I'm actually one of the people, like, I think Ningen agrees here. I love the idea that it didn't release a Gogeta because it's something else. Like, everyone was complaining, yeah, we get the same units every time, and now we got a Pycon with a unique unit super attack that didn't actually happen that way in the anime or the movie. And I love that idea. Pycon is really good. I saw the stream with True where he attempted, or well, in fact, did the no item run on ESVR. So yeah, Ninge, what are your thoughts on Pycon?
I mean, yeah, he's pretty crazy. It's funny because this seems to happen a lot in Dokkan, where we get like the reveals and then people have their first impressions, and then it kind of ends up being the opposite, because obviously Janemba, even though I know Talon really likes him, like he's in one movie and not for a huge amount of time, but he's quite a popular character. So obviously a lot of people were hyped for a new Janemba, especially because the other 2 main ones that we have are so good. Whereas not that many people would be hyped for Pycon, and then of course they come out and the Janemba's not actually that good, and Pycon is actually really good. So yeah, I mean, I said before, like, even though it doesn't happen in the movie, and as Goresh said, I think Goresh's analogy is my favorite for the unit super attack. Pycon attacking you with Gogeta is like being hit by a truck and then being hit by a paper plane, but it still looks super cool. Like, I know it doesn't make sense, but it looks awesome, so I quite like it.
So anything you guys would like to add from the global side? What are your impressions of those units? Are you going to summon for them? If not, why not?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Free Ghost Usher, that's like the number one takeaway for me for that. I love Pycon's skill set. I think the most appreciated part of that is the free Ghost Usher, which is going to make for a ton of Super Battle Road runs. And also, I love getting obscure units. Like, getting them more shine in the game is something that I love a lot. So Pycon is one of those units. He never gets any respect. So him finally getting a Dokkan Fest summonable, I'm absolutely summoning for that.
So I read that Goresh would just grab 1 copy and then get out of there. So still sticking with that?
Yeah, right. He will. You know what? He'll try to not get He'll just try to go for 1, and he'll get like 4 before I can pull even 1.
Nah.
I mean, I intend to summon on both the units. I'm particularly pleased they didn't go into that rabbit hole of making Janemba a turn 1 transformation unit, because he had some play in his fat form in the movie.
I think it should just been turn 3 for the transformation.
Yeah.
think
I
honestly
agree.
It should have been turn 3. Like that should have been the transformation right there. Boom.
Only thing I'm bummed out
I
about
agree.
is that he doesn't have a nipple cannon.
His super attack animation is pretty cool though.
It is pretty
Yeah,
cool, but no nipple cannon. Free
So
the
yeah,
nipple. Come on.
apparently Akatsuki did something right because PyCon did get top grossing. So yeah, what are your thoughts on that? Is it deserved?
It's good. It's good for the game that someone other than like the marquee characters got top grossing, because it means that they're going to be less afraid in the future, potentially, for releasing more obscure units, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but it brings back into the discussion Garlic Jr., Dr. Wheelo, those random units that you would never see probably in Dokkan. This sort of thing brings more light to that side of the Dragon Ball world, because those guys could actually maybe hold their own on a summoning. That would be pretty cool.
I was agreeing with you until you said Garlic Jr. and then I was like, ooh, so
Ouch. Alan.
That's an example. All right, give me one that you would
Garlic
want.
Jr. is just not. Oh no! I can see him as a card, as a free to play unit. He is not getting a Dokkan Fest exclusive.
We also did the same thing for PyCon. Come on now.
Dude, but think about it. With PyCon, what did they have to do? They had to throw Gogeta into the super attack.
This is a step in the right direction. Yeah, they were too scared to have PyCon alone headline the banner, so they had to tag on Gogeta.
And I do agree that hopefully this allows them going forward to do more units like that. But Garlic Jr., oh, I got to put my foot down on that one. No, that's just
Garlic Jr. will be in Dokkan.
Give me legend.
I'm not saying he won't eventually, but I'm just saying he's gonna be some free to play unit that will
you know what? That'll be a start. I'll take it. Give me a friend summon Garlic Jr. Let's start with that.
Friend summon Garlic Jr.
Dude, I have,
and that is another thing we personally don't know exactly what triggered the top grossing, but I wouldn't be surprised if part of it was also the fact of people trying to get the year 5 fusions, regardless of where they place in top, I'm using quotations here, top, power levels and everything, where we already know JP players put different characters on scales like totally different than what we're used to. But I wouldn't be surprised if that also contributed to it, seeing the year 5 fusions and everything, and trying to summon for them. So
realized in their super attack, did they use the assets from the Dragon Ball Super Broly Gogeta attack? When Gogeta and PyCon combine their charges, doesn't that animation look like the Stardust explosion from the movie, Dragon Ball Super Broly movie?
I thought it was just from the Fusion Reborn.
I think it's the same asset.
I don't know.
It's not? It looks a lot like it.
But yeah, I agree with that completely, because obviously some people will primarily summon for, if they don't play it as much, I guess, or just whatever, there are different types of players, but some people will only care about summoning for the characters that they like. But obviously, as people who play the game a lot, and whether it's Super Battle Road or whatever, like, we set ourselves our own challenges and things that we like to do. So for me, it's more important what the unit does. So as long as the unit has a good kit, then yeah, just like make it any character. We don't need like the same characters 50 times. And like people were saying in the comments when we're talking about people like Garlic Jr. and stuff like that, like it's a meme now, probably because Truth said it at some point, but people are saying like, oh well, we have a Dokkan Fest exclusive Android 13. It's like, well yeah, he was the main bad guy of one of the movies, of course we're going to have a unit of him, like, and I think we should have for all of them, even if I don't personally like them. Like the whole Garlic Jr. thing is obviously just a massive meme now. I swear, like 70% at least.
He was in 2 movies, wasn't he?
Saying that
no, he was in a movie,
one movie and a saga in the show, a very small.
Which
is
saga.
Wasn't the filler saga just a retelling of the movie?
He has way more screen time, or like I guess screen time than PyCon.
Yes.
True. Yeah. Eat it, haters.
Who was also in a movie and a filler arc.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Eat it, haters. Garlic Jr. will be a thing, and y'all will thank me.
I will
Yeah.
for sure.
So, I mean, all I was going to say is, I feel like it's just a massive meme. Most of the people that like comment on things saying that they want him in the game don't really want him in the game, but we probably will get him eventually because.
Okay. For everyone, then I am putting this out right now for every single person that is defending Garlic Jr. If he gets a Dokkan Fest, I expect summon videos. I'm looking at you, Tune. And I expect
You're
pictures
damn
and
right.
videos on Twitter of you summoning for him and getting him.
All right, in
If you
fact,
don't get him,
done.
you keep
Deal.
going in. You
Done.
keep
No, we
going
should-
in.
I will
Deal, talent.
go until I get at least 2 copies if it's a Dokkan Fest or 2 dudes if it's a Dokkan Fest.
All right.
Garlic
I
Jr.
expect
mean,
those videos. I expect those
can-
videos.
We can put that challenge out there right now on behalf of 5-9 Gaming. If a Dokkan Fest exclusive Garlic Jr. ever comes out and he doesn't hit top grossing,
Yep,
then
mhm.
you have all failed
Yep.
miserably with this meme
Yep.
that you love to keep pushing. Like,
It's not a meme. It's a desire,
It's a desire.
at least for me. No, like for me, seriously, it's about representation. Like this game has damn near everything Dragon Ball in it, and we're just missing a few things here and there to like really make it the true love letter to the franchise.
exactly. And
They
like I
added
said,
a Nin to the game before Garlic Jr.
yeah, it's like I said, the skill set of the card is what's important. I don't like, even if it's a character I don't particularly like, if they're good and they'll be good on my team, then I want to get them. So I think they should definitely be using more of these characters that we don't have rather than making like the 8th version of one that we do.
Well, they definitely need to. So using those characters, they, hopefully they understand this, and I would assume they do. They need to make sure that the unit works really well in the passive, because one thing that I think everyone feared when it came to PyCon was his link set is garbage. It is absolute garbage. So the fact that they were able to work around that and everything, helps and everything. But
well, yeah, because they only have to be smart with how they make the passives, because even if they've locked themselves, like we all assumed that PyCon's links would be what every other PyCon's links are, which first of all, they don't have to do that, but they seem to have fallen into that kind of pattern. So if they release a new version of the same character, chances are they're going to have most of the same links. But then all they need to do is add key or key support or whatever into their passive, and then it's fine.
Wait, links like other PyCons have, like Prepare for Battle?
Yeah, like Prepared for Battle on Global, yeah. So what do you think when AGL PyCon comes out on Global? Is he going to Prepare for Battle?
Oh, God.
Sure will.
I mean, that would actually be good, but...
So yes, Sunblade, to answer your question, yes, I do like PyCon being a Dokkan Fest.
Okay. Thank you for that short answer. Yeah, I
You are
appreciate
welcome.
Okay. So before we actually close this chapter, there's one minor question I would like to ask. So now that we didn't get quote unquote true Gogeta unit, what is going to happen to him? Because normally when a Gogeta releases, he releases in a dual Dokkan Fest. And what do you expect to happen? Because at some point we have to get a new Gogeta since we got a new Vegito, if you will. So what do you expect out of a new Gogeta? Might we get one for Saiyan Day, or what do you think?
Dokkan doesn't consider Gogeta a Saiyan.
That's true, they don't. Not a pure Saiyan. Right?
Yeah,
Well,
if they brought him out on Saiyan Day, then there would be a
assumingly-
riot.
Yeah,
There would be.
The new version is going to be like they did with the STR Vegito, so where they
LR,
start off as Goku and Vegeta. So I guess with the way
Actually,
they've
yeah,
updated the
that's
old
true.
units, they will be in Pure
Yep.
Saiyans. So
Right.
Yeah.
it could be for Saiyan Day, because the timing is obviously weird, because he's not releasing alongside a Janemba. It now obviously seems less likely that he'll be released alongside someone else, because who else do you put with him, really?
Yeah. I think by
so
himself, like, so
maybe
Saiyan
Saiyan Day?
Day or Tanabata.
Yeah.
Or, well, actually, so there's two things they could do. Actually, they could do, because I just thought about this. They could either do a Goku and Vegeta base, just normal Goku and Vegeta base as the LR, and then also do more of the Dragon Ball Super Broly thing. Even though it's not the Fusion Reborn movie, it is still a Gogeta,
True.
so they could still technically do that.
Mhm.
Or they do it more as not a meme, but kind of like a, I don't know the word I'm looking for. But bottom line, they could still do a base Angel Goku and base Angel Vegeta as the LR, and then have again a Broly or something like that to be like, look, Gogeta was in both Fusion Reborn and the Super Dragon Ball Broly movie, but we're gonna go with this version of him or whatever. They could do they could almost do anything. I'd be very surprised if it was just simply a, Angel Goku and Vegeta as a Dokkan Fest TUR randomly happening, or LR or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It could just be. I'd be like, oh, okay, I guess that's happening. So,
well, because they could
again,
always
wait and see.
do. They could always put him in a dual Dokkan Fest alongside a standalone full power Broly, I suppose. 'Cause we
Right,
still
yeah,
don't have
exactly.
one of those from
Yeah,
the-
exactly.
from
Yeah,
the movie.
take the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, and just do that. So
Yeah, give him an active skill that is more of like an attack or a buff or something, and then obviously give them the transformation.
the
like
transformation.
Vegeta, yeah.
Yeah, you can easily do that.
Which was the Budokai game that had Gogeta fighting Broly? And was that Budokai Tenkaichi 2? I don't remember. It was one of those games where Gogeta was fighting maybe it was 3.
Yeah, it was 2 or 3, I think.
It was 2 or I think it was 3.
I think it was 3 too. Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
when Super Gogeta was fighting Broly. What if they just recreated that as a dual Dokkan Fest?
They
Yeah.
could. Yeah, they easily could.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, are you talking about the opening cutscene?
Yeah.
That was Super Saiyan 3, Budokai 3.
No, Budokai Tenkaichi 3, right?
No, Budokai 3.
Budokai Tenkaichi 3.
No,
Yeah.
Budokai 3.
No, just 3.
Just
not-
regular Budokai 3.
Yeah.
All right,
Yep.
whatever. Yeah.
Not-
So
Okay. Anyway, regardless. Okay. Whatever.
I think they could recreate that as like a dual Dokkan Fest if they wanted to, because Dragon Ball Z Broly's never going to stop getting new units.
Yeah, he'll always be popular.
Okay, so yeah, with that said, let's move on to the next chapter of episode 15. For JP, STR, Janemba, and the Kaioken Goku and Galakan Vegeta get an easy A. So what are your thoughts on that, Talon? Are you excited?
I'm kind of shocked, to be honest. You release a Tech Janemba and then the STR is getting the easy A, which is more likely than not probably going to overshadow the Tech one.
Most likely,
I'm just super shocked that they actually did it.
Well, it's the perfect
So-
time to do it though, is because they start off as different names, don't they? So he's like,
No, and I know they do, but I'm just saying I would not be surprised if a lot of people just looked at it and just were like, oh, well, my STR now is going to get easy aid. And after probably, especially if you watched any showcases or anything of what Tech can do, you're like, why waste my stones on this when my STR can either do that or more? So, we don't know what his EZA is just yet, but
Well, I mean, you'll be able to run both.
yeah, no, and again, I know that. I know because of the name thing. I mean, that's obviously what people do with Inch Janemba right now in the Tech one if you happen to run them together or anything. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, if you're someone who cares about like attack or something like that, purely, then you'll probably look at Tech Janemba and be like, oh, well, my Int basically does that already, or my STR is about to do that now, and I'll pick up Tech later or whatever. Then, right? Even regardless of the name thing. So
The concern that I have with this guy is like, how is he going to compare to the Int one?
The
Because
Int
the
one,
Int one
yeah.
is still really damn good. Like really
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And when you start getting into these EZAs of characters that already share same name with another unit that's really good in the game already, they have to make this guy different. Like they can't just make him do everything that the Int one does but better, because then it just invalidates the Int one. Like I hate what they did with the Int Gogeta, because the Int Gogeta is
what I was
literally
gonna say.
just overshadows the STR, and now there's no point to ever run the STR one outside of the STR ESBR, right?
exactly.
Yep.
So I really don't want to see that same thing happen with this STR Janemba. I'd rather see him be kind of like a supporty type of unit.
Yeah. Do it. Do
Like
it.
maybe not nearly as good defensively, not nearly as good offensively, but he's like very good. Maybe he changes orbs, maybe he creates rainbow orbs, maybe he supports that stuff like that. I want to see that, so it's at least different.
Yeah. Oh god, watch him like fix all of Tech Janemba's issues. It's like give extreme types key +3 just by being there. Changes orb, one type of orb randomly or something like that. I'd be like, oh, you literally just fixed Tech Janemba. Okay, thanks guys.
All right, so what about Kaioken Goku and Galakan Vegeta? Alec, what are your thoughts about those two? Are you surprised about that?
I mean, I'm not surprised. Eventually, I think a lot of those unfeatured units are going to get just amazing EZAs from what we've been getting lately. I'm really excited for the Kaioken Goku, but that's because I have him rainbowed. But that Gallic Gun Vegeta, he will be good again. He used to be good, then aged, and he will be good again. I'm hoping. I like that unit.
Yeah, they both were pretty decent when they came out, and had their uses, obviously. So yeah, I think they definitely have potential.
So what I was thinking was last year we got the Easy A for STR, Majin Vegeta, and
Yeah,
the
I know where
Angel
you're
Goku,
going
right?
with this. Yep.
So I thought that they changed the schedule, their own schedule. Like I really think they originally planned to release Kaioken Goku and Vegeta as a dual Dokkan Fest for Christmas, but they changed it up last minute. Maybe to earn more money because it's quote unquote Gogeta. Yeah, Goresh, what are your thoughts on this?
No, I was just
Go
going to
ahead.
say the same thing you did, because they released the Majin Vegeta and Super Saiyan 2 Goku EZAs alongside, obviously, the new, Goku and Majin Vegeta that came out last year. And I thought the reason why they didn't release these guys' EZAs for a long time is because they were saving up to, I guess, line them up alongside the same thing we saw with that, which is a new Kaioken Goku and a new Vegeta, whatever, maybe Grade 8 Vegeta or whatever they wanted to do. So them not doing that now either tells us one of two things: they delayed that dual Dokkan Fest to some other time, or they're not doing it, or it's not planned.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, right.
Just throwing this out there, how egregious would it be if these two EZAs gain some sort of Saiyan Saga leader skill?
Very egregious. Like
You don't think
borderline
people would
stupid.
be? You don't think people would be overwhelmed with excitement that
No.
Saiyan Saga is now being
Well,
introduced to
maybe,
the-
but I think that should be reserved to like the dual Dokkan Fest.
Yeah, they shouldn't release it first with them. That'd be.
Am I
odd.
the only one who would be so happy if they did that though?
I mean,
'Cause
it would be
I would
cool,
love that.
but
I mean, we're kind of used to that on global, right? How many
Yeah, 'cause
categories
we-
have we gotten with sub leads before we actually got the actual leads? I mean, what both of the Go tanks and the Boo tanks, LRs that we got during the worldwide release celebration, didn't they bring stuff in? And didn't we get the special pose before that Go tanks came? And then we got Majin Power before.
yeah,
Yeah.
But that's because of the scheduling problems with global.
There's
yeah.
so
I don't
many.
think that would ever happen on JP.
Yeah.
Why not add one more problem?
But
to
that's
Global?
why I'm saying Toon is open to the idea, because we're used to it on this side of the game. It's not
That's true,
something that happens on JP.
Do it. Kotsky,
Alright.
talk to him.
Any last minute wishes for those two units like Vegeta and Goku? What do you want to see out of them?
I love stacking units, so if you want to give me greatly raising attack and defense for both, that would be pretty cool.
I
Just-
can get on that train.
Give me more super stacking units. I'd be totally fine with that. Let me have more fun on the Legendary Goku event.
I would like to see the Goku be oriented towards the all-out struggle category, because I feel like that category needs help.
It's also
Yeah,
a great
right.
moment
Good
for that
idea.
category.
Good idea.
Yeah, because it'll be interesting to see what their leader skill goes up to as well. Because they're obviously they both have those conditions in their passive when you're fighting the opposite family units. So they're both really useful in their respective family Super Battle Road stages.
I
So
assume
yeah,
it's
it'd
going to be the
really
same.
interesting to
I
see.
assume it's going to be the same as the EZA Majin Vegeta and AGL Goku, right? Because they have like
Yeah.
the same foundation, right?
Mhm.
Yep,
Yeah,
Right.
is it 130?
Yeah, 130.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's move on to the next part. And yeah, Goresh, it's time. It's time. The Angel Golden Freezer is coming out on Global in 2 days, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 2 days from now.
So yeah, Goresh, you're gonna rainbow him, right?
100% going to Rainbow him immediately. Yeah, I'm really excited for him. I think initially looking at him when he first released on JP, I was a little bit underwhelmed by his post transformation kit, because I was like, well, this is kind of boring. And then I considered the fact that he could transform on turn 1. And that whole thing about, being able to transform whenever you want, it really makes you think about, okay, do I want to transform now? Because if I do, you obviously can't go back to prior transformation,
Yeah.
right? So I think the whole decision-making process there is what makes this guy really interesting to me. Other than that, I mean, his leader skill's really good. Doesn't introduce some like stupid category that nobody ever cared
Yep.
about and whatever. So yeah,
Right.
I think he's well designed. I think they did a good job.
Yeah, he has the perfect combo of what I would prefer to see from newer Dokkan Fests that are coming out now. Is just combine two existing categories that you can then make some really interesting combos with, rather than them keep having to introduce weird new ones. It's one of the reasons why I like the Tech Vegeta so much, because I like the Super Saiyan 2 team anyway, but having Resurrected Warriors in there as
man
well.
culture right here. I love it.
But yeah, having Resurrected Warriors in there as well is like a good little combo. So I want them to do that more. And so yeah, this Frieza, obviously having those two categories to combine together, you can make some very interesting builds. And so obviously, yeah, we know there's going to be some sort of Pilaf Trove ticket thing, so I'll be getting all of that stuff. I do want to get at least one copy of him, but obviously we don't know what the Part 2 banner is going to be for Global. I'll probably go into that in more detail in a minute, I guess, but like depending which one it is, depends on how heavy I would want to go for Frieza. So as long as I can get one copy, I would be happy for now, but I definitely am looking forward to using him, even if I don't end up getting him. That's the other good thing, I guess, about him not introducing new categories, is that if you do summon for him or you don't, and you don't end up getting him, you can still run him as a friend with other existing leaders that you have, because he didn't introduce a new category. So I think that's good as well.
I think the 4-key leader skill for Resurrected Warriors is really, really good. Like you're talking about like Tech Broly getting an extra 2-key from the start at the start of the turn. That's massive. Talking about, you go ahead.
I was going to say, would you say his leader skill would make a massive difference in a race?
Yeah, you would say that.
Don't worry, I'll be the punching bag for that. We'll see.
No, but for real, like you take a look at the roster on Resurrected Warriors, like Tech Ultimate Gohan starts with 2 more key. Like he's gonna be starting at 9 key because he gets a key at the start of the turn. Like okay, you got talking about Super Saiyan 2 LR Vegeta starting with 2 extra key. Like all these units that generally aren't the best in terms of key, they're all starting with 2 more key under this leader skill. And even though it's a 150 stat lead across the board, like the 2 key more than makes up for the fact that it's not 170. I think.
Yeah. Plus, you can combine him with someone else, like an existing leader that has 170 and 3 key, and then it's quite a nice combo.
Yeah, not to mention, I think a lot of, Resurrected Warriors, I think, is one of the teams that has just survived the test of time. It is still a very good team to this day. Is it top? Is it the best? No. But you know what? It's still a kick-ass team, and it does everything it needs to. So
I just
so
love...
what you're saying is...
Go ahead.
I would say, so what you're saying is Resurrected Warriors keep coming back?
That was good. That was a good one.
To kind of build on what Garesh was saying about the ability to transform whenever you want, I also like how the form change brings with it a very different style of fighting, because when he is in his base form, he's more of a technical fighter, kind of evasive and more on the defensive side. He'll seal you and kind of keep you at bay. But then when you want to just go all out, you burst out of your shell when you transform. You massively raise attack for 1 turn instead of raising defense indefinitely. I just like that. It kind of just speaks to the character a little bit more. And also, the main thing that I like about this Golden Frieza is the fact that he is one that I can run on Universe 7 and Universe Survival Saga without worrying about nerfing my own teammates. That's one thing I always hated about Frieza. But I mean, it makes sense. Again, he's kind of someone you have to be worried about. You can't drop your guard on him. But like having a full-fledged Golden Frieza Dokkan Fest lead on a Universe 7 team, which is my favorite category, Universe Survival Saga, Universe 7, they're my favorite categories in the entire game, makes me love this unit even more. And I cannot wait to bring this guy into the team.
Yeah, and I think just going off of the transforming whenever you want thing, like obviously his prior transformation is more geared towards longer events like the Goku event or Infinite Dragon Ball History.
Right.
Because he's infinitely stacking his defense and stuff. So like literally he's good in every single event in the game. Battlefield, Dokkan events, long events, short events, like every he's good everywhere. But I think even more so than that, there are instances where you want to keep him untransformed, even in stuff like Super Battle Road, depending on the where you're being attacked and who's on rotation and stuff like that. So it's not super cut and dry to the point where it's like, okay, yeah, I'm going into a short event. That means I have to transform in turn 1. That's not the case, because his kit is designed in a way so that, like, if you're like, let's say you're fighting one enemy, like, okay, I want to seal him and not, transform right away. Like, you're going to keep him untransformed. Let's say, you're I don't know, you think you can kill him this turn, then you go ahead and transform. Like there's a lot of situations where you have to make that decision prior to actually getting your orbs. So
Yeah.
that decision making process, I feel like, is what we need, and I really like that design option that he has.
It just makes him a lot more interesting because even another unit who is good but doesn't have that same sort of intricacy, like he can still be good in any other event, but he's just the same every turn in every event. Whereas this guy, like you said, there's so many different options for the different events, and that is definitely something I think we want to see more of going forward.
I also love that he's not Realm of Gods.
So yeah, he actually came out on my birthday on JP. So yeah, I pulled him twice, and he is one of my favorite units in the game. He's very versatile. If you saw the 5-9 video where we talked about our favorite units of 2020, he was Nolan's top pick and completely justified. Great unit. Definitely summoned for him, and looking forward to Goresh's summoning video here. So yeah, let's talk about his banner, because we already know that Kefla will be on that banner. Pretty unexpected, I would say. So how could that banner look like?
So I think most people are expecting her to replace Beerus because he's been on, was it 2 banners pretty much in a row? So I think that's the most likely. It seems like a smart choice because obviously she's technically back on the Step Up banner, which is the first time she's come back since she first came out. So it definitely makes sense for her to be on this banner. And yeah, if other than that, if that's the only change, and then it looks the way it did on JP, it's definitely a very good banner. So you're always going to have those 1 or 2, like I always just refer to them as like the meme units, but like the old units. So Tech Transforming Frieza in Angel Golden Frieza. Obviously, we would love it if those were the ones that get replaced, but they won't. They always have those kind of older units that fit the theme. But other than them, like I think for me specifically, I can use extra copies of almost all of the units that are on the banner, apart from those 2 super old ones. So it definitely is a very good banner.
Yeah. And I think if we take a look at the actual banner itself, Beerus kind of fits the theme because it's Universe 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think you could argue that he maybe doesn't fit it as much as everyone else on the banner. So I feel like you could remove him.
Mm-hmm.
Someone else I feel like you could remove is probably Namek Goku.
Yes.
He also kind of, sort of, obviously he's related to Frieza because he fought him back on Namek, but he also kind of doesn't fit the theme of the banner, so you could remove him as well.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like obviously most people would prefer Namek Goku to be removed than Beerus, because at that point, yeah, Blue Captain Goku, Kefla, Beerus cooler, like plus the new Frieza, like that's ridiculous.
Yep.
All right. Any more thoughts about the banners?
I saw Kefla.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That, like I saw Kefla. That's it. I didn't pull her on when she was out the last time. I actually went pretty heavy. I'm one of those people who I do like 3 multis on most Dokkan Fest banners just to try to get something. But I went quite a bit heavier on the Kefla banner and walked away with nothing.
Oof.
So when she come back, she better come back to daddy.
You're not missing much.
I gotta say, pulling Kefla, even though I only got 1 copy of her when her banner dropped, that's one of the categories I've probably had the most fun with ever since I got that lead unit. I can't recall another category that I had more fun running events with than Universe 6. So the fact that she's coming back on a Dokkan Fest is great. And this is the banner that those who were not looking at the step-ups were actually looking at on Global, because you have the potential to get basically 2 Dokkan Fest units in one banner, because Kefla hasn't been back before. So I am very excited for this one. This is the one that people would be summoning on if they didn't summon on the step-up.
Yeah, Goresh and me already talked about this briefly, but I hate Kefla in Dokkan. I don't like this card.
I hate Kefla in the show, not in Dokkan. I can't begin to tell you how much I hate those stupid little.
They designed her in a way. They designed her in a way to make her not dependent on Kaba, but like
she is dependent on Kaba.
Yeah,
you need him.
6 orbs is way too many. I think it should have been 4.
Yeah, I agree. It literally comes back to what we were saying, like Talon was saying before about Janemba.
Right.
It's just too many
Yeah.
orbs, and there's
Yeah.
too many scenarios where you can't get them. Like you say, if you don't have Carbo on rotation, then 6 is a lot to be able to get naturally.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
That's kind of like borrowed from, or they borrowed the Awakening from Fizz Kale, right? For that, the Berserker Kale, like she needs like 6 or 7 orbs too. I think it's a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but
it's because they're from
after,
Universe
like,
6,
7
right?
turns or
Right.
something, I think.
Stupid. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, what are you gonna need 59 orbs for Goku to Super? Like, this is stupid. Like, at some point, just ignore the gimmick. Like, we get it. It's Universe 6. Haha, nice one.
Or at least even if she has it, like, because it's in the first 2 forms, the 6 orbs is for the chance to dodge, isn't it? So
Yeah,
even if you
that's
made
huge.
it like 6 in base, but then it goes down for like the next one, but the fact that it's just 6 all the way through, it's too much.
Okay, so yeah, before we go onto the short break, the EZA for Kid Buu was also announced. So, what are your thoughts on that? What do you think about the Int Kid Buu EZA?
Freaking easy, I like him.
He's gonna become invalid when we get the global first Kid Buu LR. So
I mean, he's kind of invalid depending on what team you run it when you want to run the physical support Buu, unfortunately. So
the
the
God of
physical
showcases.
support Kid Buu. So
No showcases, yeah.
yeah.
You guys need a voice for Kid Buu? Just find one of my summon reactions. Boom, Kid Buu voiceover done.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to see if maybe later that during the celebration, Jiren will release, or Global will finally get the Topo EZA along with the Dispo, but we just have to wait and see. It's Akatsuki after all, but it would fit the theme actually. But
that's the thing that's going to be the most interesting to see, and that's why I sort of alluded to earlier was the whole part 2, because JP, the part 2 for Frieza was when Turles came out, right?
Yep.
And then obviously for Global, we're still waiting on Jiren, who obviously fits that Tournament of Power theme. So it'll be interesting to see which one it's going to be. And that goes back to what I was saying about my summons. And unfortunately, the way these things normally work, we won't know what the part 2 banner is going to be when the Frieza banner comes out. So we don't have that knowledge beforehand. But for me personally, I do not care about Jiren whatsoever. So if he's in the part 2, then I probably will summon pretty hard for Frieza. But if Turles is the part 2, I really, really want him. So that would adjust my decision making quite considerably.
Jiren in June, come on.
God damn it, Goresh.
all right. So yeah, with that said, let's move on to the break, get some drinks, go to the toilet, and yeah, we will be right back in a couple of minutes. All right, guys, we are back with the 5-9 Gaming Dokkan Battle Podcast, episode 15, Happy New Shaft. And yeah, I'm going to hand it over to Talon because we got some subs and a hype train here. So go ahead, Talon.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for the hype train. That was awesome to see in the Dokkan Battle Podcast. So first, I'm going to go with the subs and I'll go with the bits. Sorry if I mispronounce names. Twitch has a lot of weird names, not gonna lie. Anyway, so first off, Bo the Behemoth, thank you for the 2 months tier 1 subscription with your little message saying, I hope we having fun tonight, boys. I'm assuming just simply, I hope we're having fun tonight, boys. And then Derek also gifted out 1 tier 1 sub to somebody, and then Blaze 39,000, he also gifted somebody. And then Speedy Food also gave out another tier 1 sub, and then actually just at this moment, if I'm pronouncing this correctly, Thala, thank you so much for subscribing for 1 month. And then if we go over into the bits, then we also have a bunch of subs from, again, Behemoth, Dean, he had gifted 10 bits as well. And then I believe, Blaze again with the 95 bits. So guys, thank you so much for the awesome support as always. All of the support always allows us to throw this money back into the channel, make it even more awesome. So again, thank you so much for all the awesome support.
Okay, yeah, absolutely agreed. Absolutely agreed. So yeah, let's. And a quick reminder for you, if you guys are on our public Discord server, you can ask the questions for the podcast there as well. There is a dedicated channel you can use, so definitely make use of that. I will pick the questions myself every time, so make sure to join our Discord and get those questions in. So with that said, let's move on to the first question. It is from Ryan. No, it's from Basim. So it's a Discord question here. So first question from Basim: with the new units, with the new released units, Pikeman and Janemba, and for future units with the kind of passive, do you think the importance of orb changing items will increase? For example, you change the Princess Snake for an orb changing item because you know that it is more valuable to get the passive activating instead. So that is a very interesting question. What do you think, Krish?
No. Next question. No, I'm just kidding. I think we take a look at like the more powerful items in the game, like Princess Snake. Like, what does she give? 30% damage reduction for the turn and 50% healing.
Yeah.
So, if a unit was able to do that in their passive, they would be like ridiculous. Like, give 30% damage reduction to the entire rotation and heal 50% of your health for one turn. That is just so stupid, and I don't think it's worth sacrificing that slot to change out for an orb changing item, because all that orb changing item is going to do is it's going to get you the effect that you might not have otherwise gotten, I guess, with Janemba, but there's a possibility you never even need to use that orb changing item, right? It's subjective, or I guess it's situational. So in no world do I see that happening just based off of the passes we've seen from Pycon and Janemba, unless they decide to go ahead and make way more crazy passes that interact with orbs. Like, I don't know, what if there's a passive where it's like, give your rotation plus 60% damage reduction if you get 9 or more type orbs or something. At that point, you can make an argument for it, but the way it is now, no.
Yeah, it would have to equal the effect of that item to like warrant sacrificing it, especially in like harder modes.
Any more thoughts?
If there were other events that required you to do different things, then there would be a call for different types of items. But as of right now, I can tell you this: my standard loadout for items for basically anything, for a video, for an end game event, or whatever, for a race, it's typically Princess Snake, Android 8, Ghost Usher, and either Icarus or Whis or something like that. I never want to change that up for basically any reason. So it's just a simple, like, you plug and play. You're facing enemies that do more damage to you. So basically all you want to do is survive that. If they were to implement different mechanics, different situations where you could really benefit from having something like an orb changing phenomenon take place, then yeah. But based on the way that the game is currently designed and the events that you need to do, I don't really see the need for other items.
Wait, no mouse item?
We haven't had that stupid thing all this time, so I don't even care about it anymore.
That's the real global shaft.
Yeah,
Yep.
the mouse.
I think I've got like 4 left.
Yeah,
I have
on
like
JP, people have
21.
like 2,000.
Yeah, it's great.
I currently have, because I just actually I literally just saw one in the Baba shop. I'm now at 871.
Yep, that is. By the way, guys in chat, if you guys don't understand, the biggest global shaft, like by far, is the fact that the Baba shop has never been updated on global.
Jeez, dude, yeah.
So we literally don't have access to like the mouse item and stuff like that.
If you pulled Barlot after his event, you can't awaken him on global.
Yep. Very nice.
All right, so let's move on to the next question from Ryan on Twitter. If the developers know that OG Dragon Ball units will sell well on JP, where the gacha market is extremely competitive, why don't they release Dokkan Fest versions of them already? So any thoughts on that?
It's hard to say, because obviously Kid Goku got top grossing on JP, didn't he, when he came out?
He got top grossing in like 30 minutes or something.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for this. I don't know why they don't.
I don't know why they won't.
My guess is focus studies and people much smarter than us making business decisions.
Or people who think they're smarter, I guess.
All I'm saying is every time, like, because Heroes is the only game I know that really like pushes Dragon Ball stuff. The only time Heroes ever releases Dragon Ball related stuff, people go insane for it. And I don't know why no other game really pushes it. Like, I know Buchigiri also did some Dragon Ball stuff. Like, literally, they made the hardest unit to pull in the game, Demon King Piccolo. He was basically like an unfeatured LR. that was his
Okay.
rate. So I don't know.
Well, I guess it's because they have to fulfill their quota of Gogetas and Vegetos for the year. So the schedule's pretty packed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta do every single fusion every year. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's the ultimate reason. Yeah. So, anything you would like to add here? Maybe Talon? Or is that it?
I can't. I'm like Goresh and everyone else. There's really, and there must be some reason they're not doing it. I mean, maybe they're looking at the game now and seeing that it's not dying, but it's definitely on a downward slope, I would say. For whatever reason that is. We've talked about that many times before in the podcast. Maybe they're going to start busting them out now after year 6 or something like that, because year 6 is basically like 99% guaranteed to be a mastered UI Goku, and some other unit we're expecting probably a Evolution Blue Vegeta or something like that. And maybe once that ends, maybe this is going to be finally the time to start doing the OG Dragon Ball stuff, and then Sand Saga for Golden Week or something like that. Have the Goku and Vegeta on the Golden Week banners. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not sure why.
I've kind of said that after they reach the pinnacle one last time with UI, they'll do this big reset and kind of revisit all of the various sagas and everything that they've kind of missed throughout the timeline of Dragon Ball. So they'll go back to they'll probably get that Junior Goku in there. They'll get the Saiyan Saga fully covered. I think that will be closer to the tail end of Dokkan's lifespan, where they go back and just retouch everything one last time.
Can they retouch the World Tournament?
Let's have another World Tournament so they can discuss it and talk about.
Well, I mean, maybe when they release the inevitable Junior and Goku Dual Dokkan Fest, like the whole theme of the tournament, maybe that will prompt them to finally do something.
Oh, please do something with it. Anything, just
Yeah.
please, something.
Okay, so let's move on to question number 3, and this one is from Dex on Twitter. My question would be for everyone: what would one new mechanic you would like to see implemented? Okay, much like LR Tech Goku and his critical attack on his super attack, or the Broly trio orb choice for different effects. So who would like to take this one?
Me, I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead.
There's 2 effects I want to see. Well, I guess I'll just talk about this one first. Something that gives other units dodge and damage reduction, or either or.
Ooh,
I
that'd
think
be cool.
we haven't seen that at all, and I feel like there's units that could really benefit from damage reduction. Not a huge amount. We're not talking like 50%, maybe like 10%, 15%.
Yeah.
Something that's not going to be broken, but something that's not going to be like insignificant either. And I feel like that's something that I would like to see on skill orbs. I know the question isn't specifically about skill orbs, but I feel like they missed the mark with skill orbs. They could have.
I agree.
They could have designed them in a way so that you implemented those sorts of effects on them, and it would have made things a lot more interesting, because you're able to give units like these boosts and I guess effects that they wouldn't otherwise have access to, and that's what I think skill orbs needed to do. But it's just the way I see it right now, the skill orb system sucks. So
Me. Can I go next?
Go on then.
I want them to make the orb field more spicy. I've mentioned this before. Give us more than just the type orbs and the rainbow orbs. Give us the occasional gimmick orb. If you pick this up, boom, plus 1% damage reduction. You pick this up, boom, you gain 30,000 health, but you give up a super because you're picking up that item or that orb. Give us more variation on the actual orb field that makes it more than just, all right, see the color that matches the unit, pick that up, boom, done, move on. Now you can actually be given the choice, all right, do I forego the super attack at the cost of gaining some damage reduction? Do I forego the super attack at the cost of gaining X amount of health? It adds more strategy. It adds more deliberation in the process instead of just plug and play, boom, boom, bubbles pop, you're over. I want something like that. Make the bubble field more dynamic.
Yeah. Well, one thing I think would be quite interesting, I think we might have mentioned this before, would be it would probably just be an active skill, I guess, but something that draws, like, it pulls all of the attacks on the turn into that particular slot. Because obviously, like, not many people do like the no item attempts and stuff, but on like super hard events, it's really annoying when you're doing something like Super Battle Road and you have your team built so that you're using some maybe weaker support units, and then there's like 7 attacks in slot 3. So you could have a unit, I guess off the top of my head, like the moment from the LR Piccolo art where he shields himself in front of Gohan, and then it just pulls all of the attacks on that turn into that slot where that character is, and then obviously that character would be strong defensively. I think something like that would be pretty cool.
Man, that's so similar to my idea. I feel bad now. So what I would like to see is combat positioning. So not like 1, 2, 3 slot on the board, but like my MVP 17 chooses to be in a defensive position this turn, and maybe in relation with skill orbs somehow can intercept one super attack during the turn, and it makes sense for him because he's got that shield. Like he could pop in, bust his shield instead of doing damage in any way, shape, or form for the turn. That's his job for that turn. Like you could set your characters to be, defensive, offensive, or maybe even evasive, and it like changes what they do instead of having a super attack.
Oh, that sounds pretty interesting. Yep, I like that.
Oh,
So,
I
yeah.
have one more.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, actually, it's not really one more. It's to build off of what I said. If they were to do something like that, where they make the field more dynamic, it could also open the door for a whole new archetype of leader skill or passives. Because we're starting to see that they're going a little out there, a little different with their passive abilities. Obviously, the category meta is still a thing, but you can then start to give abilities to characters like, hey, if you pick up this orb, it's more potent if this person picks it up. Or if this person's on the field and you pick up that orb that gives you extra health, it does it a little more. So that would also open the door for more variation in overall abilities and kits.
All right. So, anything else you guys would like to add, or should we move on?
No,
Let
I
me
think you
voice
covered
Broly.
all of it.
Come again?
Let me voice Broly.
Yeah. Global needs that. If I think about tech Broly, Tech-a-la Broly. But yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the final question for the day. And this one is from Junior168 on Twitter. Now that we are in the World Tournament seasoning again, would a system like a Bujigiri match had be a good as a re-ramp? I mean, the point system, the fights, rewards, etc. So, Goresh, you are pretty much into Bujigiri match. Rip the game, actually.
Yeah.
But what do you think about this?
I mean, the system they had is pretty much the same one that we have in Dokkan, which honestly was even more strict over there because they had the same system that we do, where it's like, if you rank within the top X number of people, you get these rewards, and there's tiers based on where you were ranking. But the way that they did it was, I believe you only were able to get like the max amount of dupes for a unit if you got like literally number 1. So I don't really like that way. They had a separate ranking where I guess this is like instead of local ranking, they did like a 1 run point total. So if you got the most points in 1 run, you would get like a ranking for that. And then whoever got the most points in doing 1 run would get like extra stuff, and there's like a separate ranking for that. But there really isn't that much of a difference between what Dokkan does right now and what Bujigiri does, because it's pretty much just, as long as you're in a certain tier, depending on what tier you're in, you're going to get different rewards, and it wouldn't change anything because it's pretty much what we have already. So I don't think that would do anything.
What kind of re-ramp would you like to see? Maybe not 2, because he really enjoys it.
Where do
So
we start?
Ningen, go ahead.
I was going to say, where do we even start from?
How about you just delete it and like rebuild the whole? Honestly,
Yeah.
the amount of revamps that I would want to see in the World Tournament is so much that it's more worth it just to completely rebuild the mode.
Yeah. So
rather than just like change some things about it.
Yeah, in terms of looking at if they ever were going to make change, because a full revamp would probably be the best way to go. But like in terms of if there was just like a quick change they could make that would improve it, obviously probably still wouldn't make it good. But I think my biggest complaint, and I would assume most people agree, is the fact that it's just how long it is. Like if you want to actually try and place in a decent spot, because obviously the allure of the rewards in the higher tiers is very high, it's just so long, like 3 whole days. Like even if it was one day, there are still plenty of people that wouldn't necessarily have time to play it for a whole day. But like 3 days is just way too long, because if you start late or you play it like crazy for the first 2 days, but then you can't really be bothered to play it that much on the 3rd day, then you don't get to the spot that you wanted to get to. So it's just way too long.
I see somebody in chat saying Buchigiri was killed by its World Tournament. That is certainly not the case. This is way more things that killed that game rather than the World Tournament.
As far as a revamp goes, I say just get rid of it. Take the units. No, I'm like seriously. Take the units. Fold those into some sort of friend summon. Not like the current friend summon that we have. Maybe make it like, I don't know, 10,000 points for a single summon, so you need 100,000 points for a multi, but then it has all those World Tournament units in there. You know, something where you can take a mode people don't like and a system people don't use, and you can make like a compromise of it. So that way you're encouraging people to play to get more friend points. You can start adding missions for people to get friend points, you know, so they can start working towards these hidden LRs or whatever. I just think that the game suffers heavily when we have the World Tournament. Like a lot of us as content creators are very negative, and that puts out a very, I don't know, depressing vibe around the time that the World Tournament comes out on either side, because we all complain about it. We're all pretty sick of it. And we are, as much as I hate the word, influencers of the community, and we set the tone. So the more we complain, the more they complain. You know, so if we get rid of something that makes us complain, it'll make everybody happier in the long run.
The problem is, I think, is the main thing is the reason people would object to it just being removed completely is, like I said earlier, is as long as they give you some other avenue to get the rewards, because realistically that's the only thing people actually care about. Because the exact same thing is like for Chain Battle and how much we don't like Chain Battle. I put out a thing saying like, if there is actually anything legitimately you like about Chain Battle, what is it? And almost the only replies I got was the rewards, which technically has got nothing to do with the mode. And the World Tournament is the same thing. Like playing the mode itself sucks, but like if I can find the time to grind for that whole weekend once every couple of months, like the sheer amount of orbs and stuff you get from it is almost worth it. But just, I mean, it's not, because the mode itself sucks, but like worth the time investment, I guess. I mean, because
I love that. Yeah. What's your favorite thing about the mode? The rewards, and then you're just like,
exactly.
That's not
not the mode. Yeah.
So that's basically like saying, what do you like about the mode when it ends?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What I like about World Tournament is when Hydros hacks it and then everybody gets double rewards. Let's do that every time.
Okay, so yeah,
While you're at it, can you take out like the top 20 people, like forever, and then I can be number 1?
Toon's not doing the World Tournament, guys. Don't worry.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
He's only ranked like 44th, so he's not going nearly as hard as
Actually, I'm
does.
115, and that is not nearly as good as what I usually be at this point.
No, it's not. It's not.
That is still ridiculous, though. That's higher than I pretty much ever finish, even when I grind all weekend. So,
yeah.
All right, so this question concluded the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed episode 15. Happy New Shaft, and I hope you enjoyed the switch in terms of MCs. Yeah, any closing comments from you guys?
I think everybody doesn't. I don't think people really like Jiren in the chat. Just by observation.
Don't expect compensation from the New Year's Step Up banner.
Expect nothing, and when something comes, then you're not, disappointed.
yeah, exactly.
That's what you do. That's literally what you have to do. Expect nothing, and then if you get something, then awesome.
Talk to him.
You guys are expecting stuff at all from this game? Hello?
Well, yeah, I hope everybody has fun with their World Tournament grind, and good luck if you're summoning for Frieza.
The pain in that sentence.
I know, right?
You could feel it.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed your first episode on the Dokkan Battle podcast. Of course, Hunter will return for future episodes. And thank you, Hydros, for supporting us with the whole production, and shoutouts to the graphic guys for everything. And with that said, I would like to finish the podcast right here. Make sure to follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and so on. I will let you have the link tree right here. So make sure to follow us everywhere. Visit our new website. We updated it a little bit, so you really want to check this out, and definitely check out our merch we just launched. You will find that right here as well. So guys, that's it for today. 5-9 Gaming out. Bye bye.